Hello, my wonderful adventurers. I am, of course, your dungeon master, or as some may say, game master, depending on your locale, Jeff Goldblum, and I am thrilled to welcome you back to this most exciting episode of Presidents Play Dungeons & Dragons. Our campaign, the 148th Olympiad, set in this delightful fantasy version of the ancient world. Now, while I set myself up, Obama, why don't you tell me how Aristos and the party fared last session?
Well, thank you, Jeff, for the privilege. Before I get into it, I wanted to wish everyone a happy Halloween. As our campaign is just getting started, we debated doing a Halloween special, but thought it might interrupt the story we have here. Perhaps next year?
Cut the crap. Obama, the people deserve the truth.
What do you mean, that is the truth?
Don't start fibbing now, Joey.
All right, I tried, Joey. Well, after Jeff proposed the one-shot idea, Fam the Alien series, we started exploring characters and a map until Joey actually wet himself in well that actually just made our minds up for us.
Not a chance. I was sitting through a few hours of that. Nope, I had enough at the debates.
Look, spaceships are scary as hell. You got monsters inside, nothing that's outside. How's that not terrifying? Really, that's the stuff of nightmares.
It's all fake, Joey. Get a grip.
Well, anyway, now that's out of the bag. I should continue with the recap.
Sure, but since you mentioned bags, I thought I'd throw these out on the table.
Is that McDonald's?
Gross, I can't have that. It's not healthy enough. If I'm stuck with McDonald's, I usually just get some apple slices.
Yeah, George, leftovers from my shift, the boss said I could keep M. Great boss really connected with his employees. Reminds me of myself, honestly. Chips, Big Macs, ice cream.
Such malarkey. No one would trust your wrinkled ass to be hygienic with their chips.
Joey, don't even try it. You were practically sucking down that ice cream before I could say a word.
What he means is that it was clearly just a cheap political stunt. They closed down the McDonald's and everything.
All right, let's reel it back in, shall we? We're losing sight of the adventure.
Right? Our subscribers, gentlemen, this week we hit 420 subscribers. This is insane. I will come to the comments later in some more detail, but honestly, I never thought we'd get 400 views per episode, let alone 400 subscribers. What an achievement. Thank you really to everyone. It means so much to us.
400. Really? Wow.
If you want to be part of making this channel even greater again, smash that sub button. We will deliver the goods, don't you doubt it.
Come on, folks, back to the story before Jeff gets mad and makes us fight another monster.
Back to me then, I guess. So the story so far goes, after meeting the mysterious and charming academic and getting prepared for our adventure, gathering clues and tools. The local blacksmith was very helpful, but also asked us to keep an eye out for his brother Max. We set out along the cliff line in order to track down any remnants of the ship. Fortunately, we had expert tracker Bixby with us, and he spotted where the ruined ship had washed up against the rocks at the base of a cliff not too far away.
Simon, hurry it up.
No, Obama, I am enjoying the thorough recap. I didn't know how to take notes for all of it.
I never listened to them, Joe. You know that best of all. So having spotted the rock, we team efforted some ropes down the cliffs, getting into the ship with a bit of a Leroy Jenkins moment from Taurus.
Yeah, well, you know what? No fair.
Well, then we investigated the inside of the ship and found some surviving crew, but many more dead, and a chest that all the survivors seemed to be protected. We never got a chance to investigate any more of the ship as we got quickly set upon by the suspected cause of the ship's disaster, a huge sea serpent bent on getting into the ship. We managed with some seriously close call and clutch moments from the party to drive it off and get it to Earth's another ship.
Guys, you know what Obama has just reminded me of? Taurus went to the blacksmith for tridents. Ultimately, the weapon most iconic for fighting sea monsters like a sea serpent, and he didn't even use one.
AI.
Great call, Donald. I never even thought of that. L.O. George Taurus was caught up in the moment, huh?
Those tridents are for range fights. I thought about it, but everyone's dropping like flies, so I had to get in close. I'm the only tank here after all. 2 squishy mages means I'm basically on my own.
Squishy? Me? I'm anything but squishy.
Sure.
Donald, I've been reading the forums, and they say most sorcerers end up being glass cannons.
Will I?
Gentlemen, the stage is set. You are in the underbelly of this ship. Now combat is over. You notice moves ever so slightly every time a wave crashes into the side. The wood creaks and groans with each move. You're not in immediate danger, but time is running out. The light's going, and if you wait too long, you'll be searching in the dark.
Guys, I made enough rigging to get one of these 2 unconscious men up the cliff at a time. If we have to do 2 in the dark and wet, well, things start to become risky. Slipping down now. Not a pretty sight after that fight.
Yep, you're right, Taurus. We also have to get the chest up there.
Oh, so now we're taking the chest too, huh?
You know we have to?
Yeah, obviously, Jeff, I'm going to scour the ship for anything useful. I'm not leaving empty-handed.
Excellent, I'll help.
Smart move, Don. Roll for it. First one tonight.
I am going to scavenge the ship. I'm not ready to go back into the water, but I will crack open the easy-to-reach chests. Anything providing resistance shall be where I call in the strength of Taurus to pry open any lids or locks. I got a 17 in investigation, Jeff. I don't want to take all day, just a quick rummage to find anything useful.
You mean valuable?
Obviously.
Brace yourself, Donovan. With a roll of 17, you uncover a collection worthy of champions. Starting with the humble but oh so useful carpenter's tools, navigator's tools, cook's utensils, tinker's tools, perfect for all your tinkering needs. Leatherworker's tools, woodcarver's tools, fishing tackle, and of course the basics. Torches, ropes, crowbars, pittons, hammers, your standard adventuring fare.
Tools, that's it. I want treasure, not a toolbox.
Tools. Oh yeah, give me those carpenter's tools and ropes. Climbing kit or two, and I'll be ready to wrangle any challenge.
Fishing gear? Yes, please. I'll grab that and the navigator's tools. No getting lost on my watch.
I'm not trusting you with navigation.
We move on to the more intriguing finds, weapons, heavy crossbows, spears and shields. Most damaged, but some salvageable. Grappling hooks, perfect for scaling cliffs. Harpoons, fishing spears, anchor grapples, oh yes, there's more. Diving helmets and breathing helmets.
A fishing crew with diving equipment and heavy crossbows? Yeah, this is fishy, don't you think?
Who cares? Grappling hooks, harpoons. Oh, this is just getting better. I'll take them all. I can use a shield, right, Jeff?
Sure can.
Diving helmets and breathing tubes. Now this is the stuff. I'm taking him, you never know when you'll need to get wet.
Are you both forgetting that we have 4 men in a chest to help up the cliff?
You forget who's got the muscles, little wizard.
You take what you like, Taurus. I'm referring to Bixby and the diving helmets.
And last, but certainly not least, shackles and chains, and oh, here we go, silvered weapons, hunting gear, and the remains of a healer's kit, stripped of anything useful, I'm afraid.
Silvered weapons again. Why can't we get gold weapons like in Call of Duty?
What's a silvered weapon? Are they shiny or what?
Haven't you played Skyrim? The companion's quest line?
Well,
Come on, Joey. Silvered weapons are just normal weapons with a little silver worked into the metal. They help deal a little extra damage against some monsters, undead, stuff like that.
Right, of course. I'll look for small silvered short swords, Jeff.
But silvered weapons. Come on, guys, this is strange.
As they go on about silver weapons, I'm grabbing the harnesses and rope. Jeff, gonna make some climbing gear, cause we're gonna need it, especially the ones KO'd.
I had an idea about that. I was thinking Donovan and I could try and blow a hole in the side of the ship. The sea monster and rocks have already done most of the job. One clean shot each and we all duck out.
Hold on. What if blowing a hole brings the whole ship down on us?
I'm way too good looking to die in a busted up ship.
You hear that creaking? It's a miracle it hasn't collapsed already. How are we supposed to swim everyone out without the whole thing caving in on us?
Aristos, my friend, let's put that brain to work. Roll me an intelligence check.
Damn, even with my modifier, I rolled a 7.
A 7? You've got little knowledge of ship construction and no clue how to break it safely without bringing it all down.
Yeah, that's fair, but I still say one quick blast over here in the corner and we'll have an exit before the ship collapses.
You know what? I actually like this plan. Blasting a hole in the ship sounds like something I'd enjoy.
Okay, Jeff, I'll look at Taurus and Bixby. You are both on being the strongest of us to pull the 2 unconscious friends out.
I've got Max, you take the little one.
Sure thing.
I line us both up, Donovan, pick out a clear target. On 3, we fire. But first, let's check if the survivors have any objections.
The one who spoke before looks at you and says,
Aristos, I don't care what these losers have to say. They've been useless. We need to figure out who's grabbing the chest. Bixby and Taurus are busy.
Don, I hate to break it to you, but we might have to leave it. The academic didn't ask for the chest, and our lives are more important.
They literally fought to their last breath for that chest, Aristos. There's no way it's not important.
All right, Don, we blow the hole, save everyone. And if the ship's still standing after, we can dive back for the chest, or maybe even lasso it. Either way, safety first.
Come on, spell boys, hurry up and blast that wall.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, I cast Firebolt.
I'm also blasting it.
you don't need to roll to hit. It's a stationary wall. Just give me your damage.
6.
Ha, weakling. I did 8 points of force damage.
The wall's starting to buckle under the damage.
More.
7 this time.
I got an 8.
You've weakened the wall, but the ceiling is creaking and groaning under the strain. The roof's starting to buckle.
Forget this. If we wait for you, we're all dead. I grab Max by the sling I have already fashioned, and I'm going to run right at the wall, horns first, laughing.
No, stop. You could kill us all.
Seeing Taurus make a move, I grab the other guy by his rigging and dash to follow.
As I run past Aristos, I shout, I'm feeling horny. and crash into the wall for 9 points of damage.
Just like the Kool-Aid man, you break through the wall, only to slip and fall onto the rocks, Max's weight coming down on top of you.
I'm right behind him.
You slip and fall into the pile too, Bixby, but the blow is softened by the 3 men below you. Aristos, Donovan, as you contemplate what just happened, you feel the rush of the 2 other sailors dash out into the free air, pushing past you both.
Hey,
You realize what's happening. The ceiling's cracking and splintering. The ship can't handle the damage anymore.
we're getting out of here, Jeff.
Roll a dex save to dodge the falling debris.
16. Nailed it. Donovan, your turn.
How heavy is it, Jeff?
Eyes ever on the prize, Donovan. True to character. I would say it looks to be about 10 to 15 pounds from your inspection and its movement so far.
You can't make it.
Jeff, tell me what roll I need to make to cast Mage Hand on the other side of the chest and shove it as hard as it can right at me while I dash back at it, then dive out into the night. My hand doesn't need to carry it right, just give me some momentum, so weight-wise this should be fine.
Hell yeah, that's my boy. This is how we play. On the edge.
Oh, golly.
Do you have a second character ready? How much HP you on? Even half damage probably kills you.
Perhaps, Jeff, what do I roll?
This isn't going to be just one roll, but a series of chain reactions, and each one has to go your way for the next to succeed. First up, I need a spell attack roll. There's no attack here, but it's for how fast you can pull off a cantrip under pressure and throw it with full force. Then you'll need an athletics check to catch the chest midair, and finally a dex save to dodge the collapsing roof. Since you're lingering in the danger zone, your DCs are higher than Aristos. We're talking 15, 17, and 19. Still feel lucky enough to grab that chest.
I'm ready. I don't lose if I'm going out. It's going to be on Halloween. Perfect, really? I can come back as a ghoul. Spell save first. This should be a breeze. I've already crushed. Wait, what? Rigged, obviously.
Alrighty.
He rolled a 13.
Well, honestly, that's close enough, Donovan. I'm excited to see where this goes. The chest doesn't come right at you as you dash back towards it. Instead, the strength of the mage hand fails and it's now sawing for your knees.
I make a great catch with an 18, Jeff. Surely.
Despite the mage hand losing power, you drop down to make the catch. Time seems to slow down as the roof starts collapsing above you with splinters already cutting into your fine red cape. Make your final roll.
I know you don't love my stories, Donovan, but before I got that natural 20, I had this gut feeling, like I needed to be the lookout. I'm getting that feeling again.
Bixby, I don't need to hear about your digestion again. Back to my important heroic roll. Oh, yes. Oh, no. Well, I'm not sure how to feel.
You got a natural 20. How can you feel anything but great?
Because it feels like it was rigged by Bixby.
Trump gets a natural 20 and complains. Nobody else. Nobody.
Wow, with that natural 20 for a total of 22, you spring from your crouch position and vault yourself out just in time before the ship crumbles, sliding into the waves. The chest slams into Aristos, but Donovan, you land gracefully on Bixby.
Ouch, why me?
He did it.
I'm tremendous, I know. This DNED stuff is E. I want to open the chest.
Now, here, in the dark on wet, slippery rocks, you'll lose whatever's in there, just like in an ice plains biome.
I'm opening it. I have to know what we risked our lives for.
Donovan Aristos is right. We'll get up the cliffs, get these people medical care, and then deal with the chest. It's not going anywhere. Now everyone off me right now or I start cutting.
I'm all for it. Let's get out of here and back to some dry land.
Fine, I guess that makes sense.
We have to be strategic. How do we get everyone up there quickly and safely?
Being at the bottom of a pile of people, I had some time to think. So here it is. We have 2 sets of harnesses from the ship and the 2 unconscious people rigged to move. As the strongest, I will come up first using a harness to enhance my speed. I'm going to take Aristos up with me on the other rope, also now in his harness. Once we are up, we will throw our harnesses down and you, Bixby, will attach the rope to Max and the dwarf.
I'm actually a halfling, I just eat a lot.
He and me too, little guy.
Enough. Aristos help the half-dwarf, I hoist up Max.
I have a name.
And when I want to hear it, I will be sure to ask. For now you are dwarf, halfing, half-dwarf, whatever the man with the horn says, you are okay. Taurus, back to you.
Let's see that intimidation roll, Donald.
Yeah, I did okay, using my charisma that's a 15.
Without a word, he just sits down in silence.
I thought so. Exactly why I need you to stay behind Donovan. After that, Bixby repeats with the next 2. Finally, Donovan, you are the vanguard.
To speed things up, given you have such a structured plan and have already got all the gear required, I will say that after half an hour's grueling work, pulling multiple people, ropes and sets of equipment, up, you all are at the top of the cliff.
Don't forget the chest.
Taurus didn't include it in the plan.
Come on, Taurus, I'm not leaving the chest behind. What role do I need to go after it?
Kidding, Don. I am not taking that chest away from you. Not in this moment, anyway. At the top, your muscles throb from the fight and climb. As the adrenaline dies down, the familiar post-battle shakes begin to take hold. From your vantage point on the cliff, you take a breath and realize it's only been an hour since you set those grappling hooks. The dirt is still freshly disturbed.
I am not letting go of the chest.
Y'all obsessed, ha.
Pause for a second, Donovan. Let's talk first. Taurus Bixby, please tend to the injured. Give me a moment, Donovan. I'll catch you up soon.
Sure can. Come here, little guy. Let me look after you.
In the dark, while everyone rests, it's easy to step away from the party and be lost in darkness quickly and completely. With the howling wind and the sounds of the ocean, you feel comfortable you are unheard. Anything but the most intimate words whispered are lost.
Out with it. What's the big secret?
Something about these two doesn't sit right with me. Rolfer seemed nice, but who knows what his brother got mixed in.
You don't need to tell me twice. I never trust a coward.
Shy. Yeah, I know. We both agree something is off. I say we try and get as much out of these two as we can before we open the chest. Do some intelligence work. Befriended them. Independently ask them some questions and see if when we come together, if those stories match. Probe out what's in the chest before we open it and confirm. Those kind of things.
Not really my style, but fine. I'll handle the halfling. He's scared of me already, so I'll smooth it over and ask a few questions. You take the human. When you're done, call for a rest, and I'll do the same when I'm finished.
Right, we need some solid questions. Basic stuff to start. Jeff, can I take a closer look at the two-seated guys? Maybe it'll ignite a few ideas.
Jeff, if they look over, they'll see me holding the halfling up in one arm, my axe hovering dangerously close to his face.
Whoa.
Yeah, and I have the human now bound on his knees, arrow notched to the back of his head.
We were.
Now this is more like it. I pull my own blade.
Start talking. Who is the academic?
That's his name.
What happened, Taurus?
They started it.
I asked him what they were up to, and he said fishing. Fine. So I started checking out this sweet rod and hook I found, great condition.
Until I pointed out that there was no fish. Can't be very good fishermen if they returned home with no fish.
Why bother coming back with all that equipment and no fish?
Very astute, both of you. I'm impressed. Did you get an answer?
Well, no, I asked nicely, and he said they were fishing. So I asked what was in the chest. He said none of my business.
I asked whose business it was, and he said that it's our employer's.
So I swiped the little one, and now you're caught up.
Look, friends, I don't want to start murder hobo DNA, and there's another channel for that. If he ever decides to do some murders, but I can only hold these guys back so long. In fact, I only met them today. I don't know very well at all. You know we have to?
Wait, that was today. Feels like we've been together for weeks.
If you had no fish and that monster wasn't interested in any of the many bodies around. Tell us what's in the chest.
Everyone chill. Donovan, good point, but these guys are survivors. Shipwreck, monster attack. They don't deserve this. We all work for the same guy. They're basically co-workers.
I slowly lowered my bow. Wait, now I'm confused.
Hi, confused. I'm Taurus. We're trying to move a chest that could be dangerous, and we need to know what's inside.
You know, as long as we kill both of them, cover up the blood, and throw them back down onto the rocks, no one will know. They will be put down as dead by sea monster or drowning. No one will think to check us.
Now you get it.
Come on, I had it from the start.
Wow, know these guys, as far as we know, are innocent fishermen. We just need time to think of the right questions to ask.
Enough with wasting time asking these guys questions. They either don't know or won't talk. The academic is who we're after. We didn't sign up for all this for 30 gold.
Okay, middle ground here. Tie their hands, gag their mouths, and they can carry their friend. Taurus, Bixby, and I will rotate Max, since he's a big boy.
Wait, how are they going to carry him if we tie their hands?
We can use Taurus rigging to loop a couple logs through and make a stretcher. Bixby, can you find some decent-sized posts? Taurus, give him a hand, take a minute to cool off.
All right.
Yippee sounds fun.
Roll survival, Bixby.
I got only an 11. I'm supposed to be good at survival.
You don't have any trouble. You head out and find some small branches. A few crunches and groans echo to Aristos. They return back after only a few short moments.
Suspicious. Anyway, I don't care to hang around enough to investigate that. Let's get this moving. Donovan, you are on chest guarding duties. The rest of us rotate as you get tired. You two know how to get these men to a medical man, right? A healer or a cleric, mum? We begin to make our way back into the town of Levati.
Excellent. As you trek on, even in the dark, you remember your path well. You're able to shift your makeshift stretchers over the obstacles you face with minimal difficulty. The journey back takes an additional hour and a half as you carry the additional weight and exhaustion of the day.
I'm keeping an eye out for someone to help us. I've had enough of this manual labor.
While several of the Athenian districts hum with activity even after dark, Seraphos is completely still. You don't see a single person?
Dan, I'm not used to all this lifting and moving. In the academy, we always had plenty of help around.
In the distance, you see the welcoming point of light that signifies the siren's call. Clearly still someone inside.
I'll storm in ahead, kicking the door wide open. All right, you a bunch of slackers. We've rescued sailors and we need your help. Follow me up the North Road. Move it, up the North Road.
You quickly realize you are still a distance away. It takes you the better part of 15 minutes to arrive at the tavern, moving quickly, but awkwardly holding the chest tightly. As you nudge the front doors, like last time, it swings open easily, revealing a warm and inviting scene and much desired respite from your current conditions. The smell of the hearty beef stew you had for lunch wafts around. As you make your bold entrance, the crowd hesitates for a second before erupting into a drunken celebration. They pour out into the streets, eager to help, many of them following you back into the night with torches, lanterns, and cheers.
Perfect. I'll lead the charge, regaling the crowd with tales of my bravery and the horrors we saw. Once they're all fired up, I'll stop to tie my shoe and quietly sneak back to the pub for some well-earned relaxation.
You just abandoned us, really?
Quite easily, if I'm being honest. You'll be fine. You have the mob.
The three of you see Donovan power forward once on the outskirts of the town, quickly disappearing into the darkness of the night. After a slow, agonizing, and awkward time moving the two still unconscious sailors, you finally see some hope in the form of a growing mob. Without an intelligent word uttered, this crowd quickly descends upon you. At first, many clumsy hands rip the makeshift slings out of your grasp before elevating you all up yourselves. With a few moments of uncomfortable but effortless movement, welcome after such a long day's journey, you find yourself ducking under the doorframe of the siren's call.
That was fun. I wish people carried me like that all the time.
Well, not a bad entrance at all. Usually that's my thing, the drama, the flair, the storytelling. I do love to weave a good tale.
And where exactly did you disappear off to?
I think it's pretty obvious that the call of a hot stew, a refreshing drink, and a pleasant barmaid had me pinned.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I just want a stew. It's on the house right.
Hey, me too.
Within half a moment of uttering the words, 4 more stews are placed on the table. Maybe not as fresh as this afternoon, but still some welcome warmth after being soaked to the bone and caught in the wind.
This is more like the life I am used to, but having had enough of stew for the day, Jeff, I want to get up and mingle with the people of this fine establishment, but I never want to take my hands off the chest.
Wait, you're planning to walk around and talk to people while holding that chest? That's a strange move even for you.
Of course, the people love me. I'm the savior. They will understand.
Speaking of people, I want to approach the barmaid and ask where the people we rescued have gone.
Ah, sweetheart, I'm not sure. I imagine they're with the healers, or maybe with some local wives doing some quick patch-ups. Might be worth checking around.
She goes back to polishing glasses.
She seemed a lot friendlier with Donovan.
What can I say? I've got a special kind of charm. The ladies just can't resist.
The ones you pay, you mean?
As I was saying, Aristos, she's probably exhausted after a long day. Can't blame her for wanting to wrap things up.
She probably doesn't know a dang thing either.
Ask again in the morning, and I'm sure she will be more hospitable. Speaking of, the academic did offer us rooms for the night as part of the deal. Jeff, I make my way up to the bar again and kindly greet Thakia one last time. My lovely Thakia, it's been quite the day for both of us, hasn't it? I've seen where the rooms are. Whenever you're free, would you be so kind as to hand over the keys?
Here you go, darling. Breakfast is 8 to 10, and the egg surprise. Well, it's just more eggs. Don't get your hopes up.
Ah, lovely. Thanks, my dear. We'll settle in ourselves. You have a great night.
See, Aristo's not that hard. If Don can do it.
Hey, now, I have lots of experience in hotel staff. My grandfather, Tiberius, actually made his fortune initially in the hotel trade, providing rooms to the silver miners in North Attica. Well, less the miners and more the owners, foremen, and managers, but they worked for the mines.
And I thought my stories were boring.
That's my life. Some backstory, some may say.
Anyway, enough of this blabbering. Let's get to bed so we can rest and heal. I need every health point I can get.
I grab the chest and make sure to take it to my room. It's sleeping next to me.
As the party makes their way to bed, they walk down the familiar corridor where you've been earlier this afternoon. You each take a room key from Donovan and find the associated room. Inside, they are small but hold a few creature comforts. A small bed covered in some soft woolen blankets, a small lockable desk, and a wardrobe. Well done, everyone. You may all take a long rest.
Tremendous.
Yippee.
Well, hot dang.
Reflecting on the biggest first day in D&D history, I have some quick admin announcements to make. First, when you're hanging around in a tavern or campsite for a while, that's a free short rest. Feel free to roll hit dice or recover spells next time. No need to slow the story for that. The second thing, and I don't want this to break out into a heated discussion yet, is that you have successfully reached level 2. When you wake up tomorrow, you'll be stronger, fitter, and ready for the next adventure.
Even better. Level 2. I'm about to be unstoppable.
Donald, level 2 sorcerer is where things start to get interesting. Hit me up if you need advice. Happy to guide you.
Yeah, I'll browse RPG bot, maybe catch a few YouTube tutorials, and call you between rallies and grilling burgers.
I can't believe you're flipping this gag still.
Well, how about you, George? What's in store for Taurus at level 2?
Gentlemen, there will be plenty of time to discuss all the various classes and choices to be made along the way offline. For now, does anyone have any last-minute activities they would like to do before we close out? This is our first evening, so take a second to pause and reflect upon what kind of nightly activities you might each do, setting the scene for our campaign.
I want to get my adventurers, comb out and comb my fur before bed, then look over my trophy collection from all my coolest monsters. I have a few different teeth, a small collection of scales, and even an ogre's ear. Now that was a fun day filled with lots of great smells. I set them up on the desk.
Boring, Jeff. Just quickly, I would like to do my nightly hair care routine. I need to salvage what I can after being exposed to so much salt for so long. I also take a few coins from my coin purse and move them to the small bag in my backpack, then safely stow them all away.
I am spending time reflecting upon the day's activities. What battle moves might have gone differently and better next time. How we might fared if we had a boat. Those kind of things. After doing that for about an hour and journalizing all my insights.
Of course you journal.
Why am I not surprised, nerd? Do you write poems in there too?
Sometimes. Journaling is a great way to understand the larger picture of the world when seeing only small snippets of it. Journaling helped me in the academy, and it will help us on this grand adventure. I'd then like to look over my spell book and work out the best spells for the constant curveballs I have to expect again tomorrow. Lastly, I want to also reflect, as we all need to, upon some questions for the academic as to why so many parts of this story don't make sense.
Blah, blah, more book stuff, nerd. I sharpen my weapons after any damage from the day and then just jump straight into bed. I am sure exhausted. I'm working harder than a border guard along the Rio Grande.
And on that note, let's wrap it up. But before Obama and the guys dive into the comments, I want to address a special one from Vaz Adabirad's 5040 about my role as Zeus. Chaos getting canceled. What a twist, right? You know, it's a bit like life itself, unpredictable and full of surprises. I have to say, my time working on the show, diving into Greek mythology with gods, monsters, and all that rich storytelling really resonated with me. It's a large part of why I was so receptive when Obama came to me with this whole DM idea. There's just something about weaving together these ancient tales, much like we did in Chaos, that felt right. And of course, Chaos was something special. The story, the world building, it had this grand sense of myth and might that I absolutely loved. But losing something, well, that's often just opening the door to something new, isn't it? We can't be Chaos anymore, but we can take our favorite parts, the essence of it, and weave it into our own story here. That's the beauty of storytelling. It's always evolving, always finding new ways to surprise you.
Beautiful, Jeff. Well, I would also like to acknowledge all our commenters, both new and regular. We love the ideas and the thoughts you have, and they all get noted down. If you're enjoying the series, please let us know below. And if you have ideas, comments, or thoughts, we would love to hear them all.
So many great comments last week about how clutch I was in combat. I knew I would be the master of this game. No one can stop me. No one will dare comment anything different below. They will all approve of me and my strategic gamma ways.
You don't ever stop, do you, Donnie? I will say my thanks to my fans out there. If you have played with a Minotaur or even a Barbarian, please give me some advice for some level 2 and cool combos I can work towards with other players. Help me get good like Donnie. Also, I love so many great comments about some catchphrases, and I will try a few out, but if you have any more neat suggestions, please comment them below.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. It has been a wonderful time. I really love getting together with everyone and playing this game, so I hope you come along to join us next session and the one after.